students, as we are discussing the chapter first of your eco books, that is the story of a village Palampur. So we have talked about the that how many families reside in Palampur, what is the main occupation of the people. Okay, so mainly the story of this chapter is based on the economic activities. Okay, so we have discussed about the factor of production, as every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, is known as the factor of production. Okay, so mainly what are the factor of production? Land, labor and capital. So how farming is take place in Palampur, as land is fixed? So mainly 75% of the people working, or we can say that they depend only on farming for their livelihood. So they could be farmer or farm laborers, as we have also talked about that some people who have big area of land and some people are landless, so they work on other people farm. Land area under cultivation is practically fixed. Since 1916 Palampur there has been no expansion, but some of the wasteland in the village had been converted. Means what was the wasteland, that was converted into cultivated land. So there exists no further scope to increase farm production. So we can say that area of farm, or we can say land is fixed, so that cannot be increased. Okay, what was the wasteland that come under cultivation? People cannot increase the wasteland, area of land. Then we talk about, is there a way that how we can grow more from the same land? Okay, means how we can take more crop from the same area of land. So we can take more crop by multiple cropping, means taking 2 or 3 crop from the same area of land. As in we talk Palampur village, people take Kharif, Rabi. Okay, and in between they used to grow potatoes and vegetables. Okay, vegetable like cauliflower, cabbage, carrot, radish. So we can increase the production from the fixed area of land by multiple cropping. Then we have that in 1960 there was a green revolution, and because of that there was a multiple increase in the production, mainly wheat and rice. So there was used of high yield variety seeds in green revolution, and as a result from the same piece of land there was multiple increase in the production. Okay, so farmer of Punjab and Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh were the first to try out the modern farming methods. So we have also discussed this, that what are the modern methods of farming, like HYV, high yield variety seeds, fertilizers, farm machinery, pesticides, irrigation means of irrigation like canal, pump set, electricity, dams, etc. So there was also increase in the production due to high yield variety seeds, and we can say green revolution that take place in 1960, and there was increase in multiple quantity of the food grains. So will the land sustain? So land being a natural resources, it is necessary to be very careful in its use. Okay, we can say that there should be sustainable development, that we should grow, we should take more crop from the same piece of land, but there should be that should not be overutilized. Okay, that should be conserved for the future generation. So land being a natural resources, it is necessary to be very careful in its use. Scientific report indicate that modern farming method have overused the natural resources base. Like modern farming methods that we are using, high yield variety seeds and pesticides, fertilizers. So all because of that there is increase in the production, but there is decline in the fertility of land. Okay, means soil fertility is decreasing day by day, and there is also groundwater are built up over many years. So once destroyed, it's very difficult to maintain it. So we must take care of the environment to ensure the future development of agriculture. Okay, so chemical fertilizer provide minerals which dissolve in water and are immediately available to plants, but they may escape from soil and pollute ground. Means it, what it means, that chemicals that we use in soil, so that chemical dissolve in the water and dissolve in the water and that remain in the soil, and soil having minerals, and so because of these chemicals, minerals get destroyed, and we can say that bacteria that soil have, these are kill, and other microorganism that we cannot see. Okay, so these bacteria and microorganism increase the fertility of soil, but due to chemicals these fertility is declining. So how is land distributed between the farms of Palampur? That we have discussed, that 450 families are there, some having very big area of land, some people are landless, they used to work in other people land. Okay, some people have large area and some having only 2 hectare of land, and a few of the large farmer have land extending over 10 hectare, and the people who are having more area of land, they having big houses, we can say built of cement, bricks, etc. Then major crop areas. So if we see that the major crop areas, areas with two predominant crops, so these are wheat and rice. So you can see that the major crops are rice and wheat. Okay, then jawar, bajra, mainly bajra that are grown in the areas where is less availability of water. Then forest and scrub, means we have shown like in sea green color there is rice, rice is shown. Okay, then in brown color we have wheat, then yellow jawar, then orange color we have bajra. Okay, so you can see. So students, we have discussed about that green revolution because of their increase in multiple production from the same area of land. So who will provide the labor? As people who are dependent on agriculture only, they are working in agriculture, so who will provide the labor? Obviously that is provided by the people who do not have any area of land. So after land, labor is the next necessary factor of production. So farming require a great deal of hard work. Small farmer along with their families cultivate their own field. So the people who having small area of land, the full family work on that farm, and the people who are landless, they work to the other people farm. So mainly labor is provided by the people who do not having their own land. Thus, they provide the labor required for farming themselves. Medium and large farmer hire labor to work on their field. Okay, so percentage of people working in India. In India, 48.63, near about 50% we can say people are working, and accordingly recent data, 49% people are working in we can say agriculture sector. If we see the data of other countries or developed countries, then Russia, Japan, only 3 or 4% people are, Canada 5% people are working in agriculture sector. So this is the comparison between developed and underdeveloped country. Developed country people, or we can say population, is percentage less, means 4 or 3% people are working in agriculture sector, but in India we see near about 50% population is working in agriculture sector, but their productivity or contribution to our GDP is less compared to developed country, like 17 or 18% we are giving to the total GDP from agriculture sector, and developed countries are giving more. Okay, so students, this is about our or that how we can take more production from the fixed area of land. And then we have talked about the how much percentage of people are working in agriculture sector in India and in developed country. That comparison we have discussed. So read these paragraphs from your first chapter book. Okay, if you face any problem, any doubt, you are free to ask. Thank you, students.